Hello YouTube, it's Lang here with Hobbies of a Man once again, and today we are doing another Kaiju 8 chapter review. Today we are reviewing chapter 45. Now, let's just jump into it. There's no introduction today, so there's no news, so that's done. Let's start with the recap. Basically, last week's chapter, 2 weeks ago's chapter, I think. I actually can't remember when the last time it was, the chapter released was, but whenever 44 released, we basically got Kikoru's mom's backstory. So we got to see why Kikoru wants to be strong, why her dad is such a kind of shitty person, and the sort of difficult relationship that they have, and why Kikoru is so badass. And it's because she wants to be like her mother. Her mom was the baddest bitch around. She was like the queen of the fucking JDF. She went ham, she saved everyone, but because she was using one of the numbers, the suits and weapons made from numbered kaiju, the biggest kaiju around, I think she was using 4 or 6, I actually can't remember what it was, but she was using one of them, and because she used it so often, and because she had to fight this big kaiju one time, she died. She lost her life because the suit took too much out of her, right? And she managed to save everyone that needed to be saved, but right before this had happened, Kikoru had promised that she would save her mother. Granted, she was a little girl, so she actually wasn't able to save her mother, and this kind of caused her a very deep emotional scar that then turned into this insane drive to be strong. And we get to see that Kikoru still cares about this, and she wants to save everyone around her, and that she doesn't want her friends to die. And Kafka is one of her friends, or at least one of her teammates, right? I would definitely say he's her friend since he saved her, but we don't really have like defined like, yes, Kikoru is friends with Kafka, you know, kind of like specifics. We just assume because it makes sense, right? And that's basically what happened last week. If you want a full breakdown, you guys can watch the video right there. But if you want to watch more videos like this one, I have a whole playlist. It's at the end of the video, or you guys can just go to my channel and you guys can find it there. So let's get into the review here. This chapter had 27 pages, which is pretty good. We usually get around 25, so this is a little bit more than usual. Well, we usually get like 23, so this is 4 pages more than usual. Pretty nice, and it actually went really fast. I didn't have too much to say about it when I like read it the other day. I was like, okay, this is really good, but one, I already knew this was going to happen because it makes sense, and two, like, it just went by really fast. It moved really quickly, so that's good, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't really affect anything, but I mean, it wasn't like there wasn't anything very important to kind of discuss, if that makes sense. So we basically continue from the end of last week's chapter, and Kikoru says, "I'll be the strongest and save everyone," and then she is saying it to her mom, so she ends it with "mommy," she has this very intense look on her face. And she cuts into number 9. I think she cuts off the ant's head. And 9 is like, oh, that was really close. You almost got me. But it moves away and it like does something. And this set of pages was actually a little bit difficult to understand what was going on. I wasn't really sure, so I'll try to break it down as best as I can. It basically looks like Kikoru tries to attack, but number 9 stops it, or at least takes it in a way that doesn't kill him. And then Kafka moves in because Kikoru is kind of losing her balance because she doesn't really have anywhere to stand because 9 is kind of attacking her. And so Kafka moves in to attack him, kind of kicking him in order to kind of push the ant on its side or something like that. Where then Kikoru, after Kafka says, you know, Kikoru, do it now, Kikoru uses her interesting squadron axe technique thing called the Doruma dropper. Dorumas are like these little ball things And so she basically like spins in a circle and cuts up the kaiju into pieces, right? And it was really badass. I really like how she looks. I really like how the attack worked, and I just really enjoyed this aspect. Of course, the kaiju isn't really dead though. It's just really harmed. And then she yells at Kafka, you know, it's time. And Kafka tries to transform, because if you guys remember last week, Kikoru thought that Kafka couldn't transform because number 9 was suppressing his power. This made no logical sense, and I even said last week that it's actually not because of that. It's because of Kafka's internal fear, his difficulty accepting the fact that he can transform and that he's not really going to hurt his friends, right? And this is exactly what happens. We see Kafka try to transform, but as he's trying to transform, as he's finally getting ready to do so, we kind of fall into this like horror scape of thing. Like the little monster mosquito thing pops out of the darkness behind Kafka, and then we get to see this kind of like Tony Stark nightmare kind of thing, where like we get to see Kafka like killing all of his teammates, and all of them kind of strewn around the floor and kind of just like bleeding out and stuff. Very similar to how Tony Stark sees the Avengers in Age of Ultron when Scarlet Witch fucks with his head. And it's pretty horrific. It's, you know, scenes of death. It's these characters with blood all over them, just kind of like laying there. Kafka has his fist through Kikoru's chest, and he's holding her up. It's like really insane. Kafka just is afraid as fuck of trying to transform because he doesn't want to hurt his friends, because he realized that he doesn't really have control of the kaiju form, right? And then he does the whole crackle thing where he like discharges his transformation because he can't do it, and it fails. And then, you know, it was like everyone's like, holy shit, it wasn't number 9, it was Kafka himself. And Kafka's like, holy shit, this is fear, this is what I am feeling, this is why I can't transform. It wasn't kaiju number 9. And yeah, Kafka is fucked by kaiju number 9's explosion. He does this thing where like the little shots, and Kafka's blown up and he kind of falls away. He's bleeding from his face and stuff like that. And Kafka's having this whole kind of like monologue about how holy shit, he's afraid, he can't do it. How is he going to deal with this, you know, kind of thing? And Kikoru is super mad. She's like, what the hell is wrong with you? How dare you insult me? How dare you insult everyone in the JDF? How dare you insult Captain Hoshina, or Vice Captain Hoshina, and Mina, and Reno, and me, and the whole JDF? And especially, how dare you insult yourself, Kafka Hibino? He is able to control himself. He has to, you know, be able to do so because he is Kafka Hibino, right? And Kikoru basically gives him a pep talk by telling him that he's stupid, essentially. And Kafka's like, yeah, she's right. There's no way that I could ever kill her. She's way too cool. She's way too strong. And Kafka starts believing. You know, we get that like badass, like, you know, Kafka is gaining resolve, and he's like, yes, I can do this. And he screams at the top of his lungs into the sky, and big man transforms. So we get to see Kafka in full kaiju number 8 glory, with Kikoru by his side, cocking a gun and being like, damn it, Kafka Hibino, you're always late to the party. And I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed that. I really, like, in my head, I was hearing like Naruto's Rising Spirit song, you know, as Kafka was like, holy shit, she's right, I gotta get ready, I gotta stand up and be powerful, and just transforming. I just like really enjoy how badass this is, and how the mangaka is so good at really getting you hyped and really interested in the story and who is doing what, right? I really just like it a lot. I'm really, really happy with this series. It's just wonderful. And that's basically it. Like I said, it wasn't really too much. Like, it was a lot of pages, but a lot of them were kind of silent or were more like action pages, and so you could read it really fast. And that's like basically all that happened. I don't really have any theories for now, but it was nice to have the theory I had last week turn out to be true. And of course, that theory wasn't really like amazing. Like, I wasn't like pulling shit out of nowhere or like finding very specific details. It was just like, if you read enough manga and you know how character arcs work, he was having a moment of self-doubt. He was having to reflect and kind of get a push towards getting over his slump, right? That was basically all that needed to happen. And that's exactly what happened. So here we are with Kafka back in the game. And yeah, that's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, I have a coffee now, so if you guys want to support my content monetarily, please do check out the link down in the description. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you guys very much. See you guys later.